Radio Facebook page. We are live streaming. Hello, happy Wednesday, everybody. And I think we'll get ready to start the show. I'm ready. You're ready? All right, let's go. You ready? I'm ready. Let's go.
I grab a quiver and my bow. It's my gearhead, don't you know? Climbing to the top with gearhead archery. Heart racing as I take aim, my spirit soaring high as I release my arrow, reaching for the sky. In this world of chaos, I find my peace. Gearhead archery.
All right, welcome to this week's edition of Turkey Talk Radio. Hope everyone's having a good Wednesday. It is March 25th around the United States, and we're going to be talking about Turkey Talk Radio. I'm going to get my buddy Jim Coffey on the line and see what he is up to today. And let's see. Ship. Well, let's try it again. There we go. Now, that was weird. I had a little kick me back there.
Hello, Dan.
Jimmy, good morning. How you doing today?
I'm good. It's the afternoon if you haven't woke up from your nap yet.
Well, you know me. I'm thinking about what is going on with let me try it again. I just love technology.
Oh, you reached Jim Coffey.
Let me try that. Everything was just working so beautiful, and I had everything set up. Let me try them again. 1 ring-a-dingy, 2 ding-a-dingy, 3. Are you?
Try that again.
Yeah. Are you at the office or where are you at?
Nope. I'm on my mobile phone.
Okay. All right. How's things going?
Good. I'm not going to move around, so I shouldn't lose you. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know either. I had everything all set up and nice and smooth. Robert Nichols, good to see you this afternoon. Good. Thank you for watching this morning or afternoon. I keep thinking I'm talking turkey, so I'm so used to talking turkey in the morning. You know, it's just I'm discombobulated. But we missed last week, Jim. Thanks for rescheduling for me. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yep. So
everything's doing well.
it will be fine. Thank you, pal. So what's going on with the Iowa turkeys with this weather? I mean, 1 minute it's 7 degrees, the next minute it's 93. I get back from the funeral this weekend and it was 55 degrees from 95. I mean, what's that doing to our turkeys?
It just tells them it's spring. They're just as confused as we are.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. They're really just in that mid-March phase anyway of winter flock breakup. So they're getting ready to break up anyway, and the heat's probably the worst part for them. But they're not like the mammals; they don't have an extra heavy layer of fur on right now, so they're not stressing over that.
You know, I was shocked. I had to go down to St. Louis, and I always go the back way through Herman and up through Columbia, and then head north on 63 or 65, whatever that is, out of Columbia. But I just did not see a ton of turkeys out, Jim. And historically, hey Tony, what's going on, buddy? Great. Tony says great weather. Historically, whenever I leave early in the mornings to come back on Highway 100 and going up through that way, all the way through Macon and Moberly and Kirksville and into Iowa, I always see strutters out in the field. And Jim, I think I saw 2 strutters, and that was it.
Yeah, we made a trip to Kansas last weekend too, and I was disappointed in the amount of turkeys that I saw as well. This time of the year, especially like you said, early in the morning, you ought to see some birds. They've been gobbling well. You ought to see some birds out in the fields, but we hit 100 degrees in Kansas, and so those birds are gonna, like you were talking about, that fluctuating weather. They're gonna shift and be in those cooler timbers and on those north slopes and stuff when it's that hot, because that's just excessively hot for any time of the year, let alone this time of the year for them.
Yeah.
So they just might not have been as visible because of that. But you would expect, like you said, early morning, those birds ought to be out doing their thing.
Well, you would sure think so. Where are they at in the breeding cycle? Are the hens started moving around laying yet?
So not really laying yet, but we're definitely entering that breeding time of the year. The males are obviously strutting and gobbling, trying to more or less show off for themselves right now. They'll start breeding here pretty quick. Probably another week or two, we'll start talking about actually having breeding, where you start talking about laying eggs.
Okay.
They'll lay eggs first week of April or so, the adults will start, which means they should be somebody sitting on an incubating nest by the third week of April. So we're still a couple weeks away from the actual mating process happening, but definitely lots of showing off going on.
So we're 3 weeks out in Iowa. Our regular season starts the 13th of April, if I remember right. Then the kids is the weekend before, so that's the 10th and the 11th. Or is the no? That's does it's 3 days before.
It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
and
All
then
right.
the regular season starts on a Monday. Yep.
I'm still discombobulated, man. It's just because usually it's a week before. So this is just a few days before the regular season.
So our youth season is always the 3 days prior.
Okay. All right.
It's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and yeah, there are some kids that skip school on Friday or get out of school early Friday afternoon and go turkey hunt.
Well, why not? I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Why not? Come on. That's to me, that's way more educational anyway.
Should
But
be a state
it,
holiday. It should be a holiday for the kids.
in Missouri, when opening gun season, it's a national holiday. Squirrel season and Memorial Weekend, that's a big deal. I mean, I think those traditions should carry on.
When I worked out west in Idaho, they used to shut down the lumber mills on the opening day of elk season because there was too many people that called in sick.
Yeah, I don't.
They're just to shut the mill down and do some retooling on that day and let everybody go elk hunting.
Yeah, I can't say that I blame them there. So the kids should be right on track for really getting some 2-year-olds to cooperate pretty good, and they should see
Yeah.
some plenty good action then.
Sure, absolutely, and don't forget too. The males will still be doing their thing. It's the females that are the ones that will be resistant to the breeding. So if you're out there calling, those males could be susceptible to coming because they're thinking, "Hey, she wants to breed, or she's attracted to me. She may want to see what's happening." So that tricking phase can really happen early in the earlier seasons.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, if you got a hen out there and it's every time he gobbles and she's fired up, excited yelping and giving them old excited purrs and stuff. I mean, I would think them birds are going to be coming running.
Yeah, it's always so hard to react to what they do though, because you got to remember in the nature, the males gobble and the hens go to them.
We're asking them to reverse what God put in their little pea brain.
Exactly. Right. So he just wants to do that. He's really not chasing them yet because he wants them to come to them. The hens will come in because they're going to feed, they're going to group up and stuff. And he's going to spend a lot of his time what I call brushing, which is where they're doing that strutting where they're kind of moving one way and flipping the tail off to a side and trying to saddle up nice and sideways to a hen, trying to see if she's ready. And she's just going to ignore him. She's just going to ignore him, but he'll keep trying. And pretty soon you'll see him strutting for his buddies because, well, if she's not going to pay attention to me, I'll at least strut for my buddies, and we'll figure out our dominance there.
Well, last time you and I talked, you said they've been really establishing the pecking order for a few weeks now, right? Do they do that all year, or is it intensified before breeding season?
Both, exactly right, Dan.
Okay.
So that can start early in the fall, actually, and then of course now this time of the year when they're kind of getting their wings underneath of them, it's really intensifying now. But I've seen poults actually showing dominance over other poults, so it's a lifelong behavior that is continuously happening. But obviously, in late fall, when those young male groups are kind of splitting off from the rest, they're building up a dominance. Then all the way through the spring, that dominance is going to keep happening. Probably not going to challenge the adult males. Those jakes aren't, but they're still going to show off for themselves. The 2-year-olds will be fighting with each other, and then occasionally somebody will try to take on the older guy just to see how stout he really is.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Murph in Pennsylvania. Good to see you. Tony, good to see you. Jeff, gobble gobble. Jeff says we need a turkey bar where they can get together and make it easier on the flirting hens. Yeah, that's all we need is a turkey bar. Yeah. Jeremy Lee at Racks and Tracks Taxidermy. Good to see you, Jeremy Lee. One of the things, I got buddies that raise turkeys. Jeremy and his family have domestic turkeys and stuff. But when them little, hey, Robert, when those little poults are born and they start spitting and drumming, is that not the cutest little thing?
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That behavior is obviously built right into them.
Yeah, they pop right into strut and spitting. First time I saw that, I mean, they're like a tennis ball, and it's like that is pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen it in the wild in about 2 weeks.
Yeah,
you'll see little males strutting for each other coming through the woods, and it's pretty amazing.
What's the numbers? You've been out glassing, scouting, or anything?
Not a lot. I'm still seeing some groups of like 20, 25. I've had a few phone calls of people seeing some pretty big groups in Northeast Iowa, but I'm assuming those are still winter flocks that haven't broken up yet.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, and then of course you're going to see a lot of commingling going on as those hens are starting to move. They'll disperse from where they're at, but there'll be other hens that are moving in, just kind of moving around the countryside. So you're usually going to see probably in that group of I would say 10 to 12 birds when they get into that breeding cycle.
Yeah, I went out and put a camera up the what's today? Wednesday, Monday, or Tuesday? I put it Monday. I put out a camera and I saw four toms running together still. So
Yeah, yeah, and that'll be pretty common, especially if there's a bunch of 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds out there, 'cause they like to hang out with each other.
yeah.
Yeah.
Travis, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you on the live stream. I appreciate that. So, we get this time of year. Want to get I always tell everybody, get your scouting done. Try to get between the roosting area and get in between where they're feeding. They're scratching everything they can, and everything's starting to green up a little bit with this warmer weather. So that's going to make it a little easier for them to feed, right?
Well, we had a great acorn hatch last year, and when I'm walking around the woods, I'm amazed at how fluffed up the leaves are. So the turkeys have really been getting after those acorns, even clear into January and February. There were still acorns left,
Yeah.
so that's a great scouting technique. So look where they're still feeding at, because as long as there's acorns on the ground, they're going to keep feeding. But as that greens come on, they're going to start switching over. We're starting to see gooseberry briars are out. Moonflower rose are budding. I saw some honeysuckle budding clear down into Kansas City, so it'll be in Iowa soon. Probably within the next week or so, it'll really start to open up. So they'll switch over to some greens and some buds. That's just a different nutrition for them.
And bugs are starting to come out.
And in warm weather, we're going to start seeing bugs. And you got to
Yeah.
remember, there's always bugs under the dirt. That's why they do a lot of scratching.
Yeah.
They're looking for all those weevils and little worms and stuff. So all that'll happen. We get a little moisture, that'll help a lot for the bugging. And ants are one of their big dietary things as well. So as soon as I heard, I think it was a week ago, somebody said they had ants coming up.
Well, and
So
anytime it gets over 40 degrees, the ticks are out, and they eat ticks too.
yeah, ticks are out year round. I think in Iowa
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a great deer season.
Make sure you get your limit tick on, folks. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's a great safety thing. Just to remind people we don't think about those things, and ticks are something not to mess around with anymore for sure.
Now, well, you got alpha gala syndrome now. You got Lyme disease. You got the bacterial stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
I
Rocky
am
Mountain. Yeah,
Rocky. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. All righty. Hey, let's talk a little bit about shot placement. I put some stuff on Facebook as far as where to aim at and stuff. And if you're bow hunting, you and I talk about this a lot with watching that wing position. If you're going to take that broadside shot, you get into that secondary feather. I got a tom up there. See the right there, folks. See that crescent moon right by the end of the wing feathers there. If you get on the front side of that towards the wing butt in the upper middle there, that's a perfect spot to aim. Jim, would you say just going up the legs and trying to get into those drumstick, those thighs, that mid range? That's about where you'd want to aim in that.
so yeah, a lot of people use the legs as a guide, kind of like you do with deer a little bit. Just kind of come up the legs and move a little bit forward, and you'll be pretty good. You just don't want to shoot too far forward on the breast, because you get into that breast meat, you're not going to hit anything vital at all.
Yeah.
And you just don't want to be too far forward for sure with
Yeah.
a side shot.
I'm nervous now. We got Todd Rupert, the man, the myth, the legend, watching.
Now, if you're shooting a turkey straight on or straight from behind, you can go right through the breast or right through the rear end, and that's going to go up through all the vitals.
Yeah, and you learn your angles too. That quartering to you can get into the front of that wing joint, and that's going to go right through the vitals if he's quartering to you.
Right.
If you learn your angles, that's really going to help you.
Yeah, we just got to remember that those feathers are big, and when they're strutting, there's actually a lot of open air in there. When
Yeah,
they're pumping those feathers out, that makes that bird look bigger. So if you're too far forward, you might just slice feathers, and that's it.
yeah, don't do that.
You got to be back in, and that's why using that crescent moon or the legs, some kind of a reference point, is a much better way to go.
That's what I'm doing. I'm telling you. And then I've shot a lot with the decap and stuff, but
Mhm.
you're limited on your range. I think the farthest one I shot was 19 yards, and there was no wind, and he was walking straight away from me, and he wasn't moving very much. And it's like, well, I'm either going to miss him or I got him, and I pretty much popped him right there. But
Well, the thing,
that's a long
yeah,
shot.
The thing I would say, I don't care if you're using a bow and arrow or a gun, is it boils down to your confidence with your weapon,
Yeah.
and that means practice, and that means practicing in the same situation. When I'm talking to guys about turkey hunting, I say, you got to go shoot your gun to see, but shoot it sitting on the ground. If you're going to hunt from the ground, in a blind, shoot from that blind. If you're going to be sitting next to a tree, shoot from a tree sitting, and even put your gloves on. If you're going to be cold and you're going to have a glove hand, you need to be shooting that way so you understand how your weapon's going to be working under those conditions, because that could change a lot.
Yeah. Well, and if you're shooting TSS, I know it's expensive. Sacrifice a round and shoot what you're going to hunt with, because you're going to want that gun to pattern exactly how you shoot on that when you have that opportunity.
So one thing people forget a lot of times, and I just talked about the other day in a seminar I gave, is whether it's TSS or lead or steel or heavy shot, I don't care what it is. Over the years, I've shot a lot of different shells, and the same shell from a different box can shoot differently.
Yeah, yeah.
The same shell in a different gun can shoot differently. The same shell in a different choke tube can shoot differently. So anytime you change a variable, you need to be shooting those bullets again and again. And I know TSS is expensive, and I'm not going to say I'm for or against TSS, but I'll just tell you there's been a lot of turkey shot not with TSS.
Oh yeah.
And so if you don't need to buy it, I would say you'd be just as good buying anything else out there. But you still got to practice with it. You still
Well,
got to know what
I
it'll do.
well, I hate to say it, but if you haven't bought it by now, you might be out of luck, because that stuff flies off the shelf pretty early. So,
Well, I don't think it's flying off the shelf this year.
is it too much? I haven't looked. Is it somebody?
It tripled in price.
Is
It's
it?
$122 for 5 shells this year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
$20 a shot. You got to, and my concern is that nobody's patterning their gun
Yeah.
at $20 a shot,
No.
and that's a disservice to the turkey.
You have to have ethics for the animal. So,
Yeah, that's our first
r- r-
rule as turkey hunters.
yeah. Is the snood the mood for the turkey, Jim?
Typically, I kind of think of it that way. I say when the snoot is long and dangly, the hens are really excited.
Yeah.
They're pumping a lot of blood to their head. They're really into it then. And whether or not the hen's actually looking at it or not, I don't know. But the snoot definitely gets engorged with blood, and it's long and dangly when they're in the excited phase.
Hey, Brant, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for watching. Yeah, if that snoot's hanging down over his beak and stuff, that he's relaxed. And if that snoot starts to shrink and pops tight, then he knows something's not right. So
Yeah, the mood has changed.
yeah, the snood it's like their mood ring, man. I'm telling you, it's just that's the I should make a shirt. Is the snood is the mood for the
The
tongue.
snoot is the mood. There
I,
you go.
I if I had Todd Rupert's money, I'd be rich.
Yeah, maybe even a bumper sticker. That
I'm
might be.
telling, I'm telling you, it could be good. What do you need
Yeah.
folks to do when they get an opportunity and they tag out this year?
Yeah, so you got to make sure if you're lucky enough to put that tag on a bird, it's not completed until you've confirmed that through registration. That helps us keep track of the bird numbers and the harvests around the state to see how people are doing and success rates. So that is an obligation in Iowa and in most other states now. It's an obligation to fulfill that tag is to register it. And so we ask you to do 2 or 3 simple questions that don't take you very long, and you're obligated to do it. That helps us manage turkeys better.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, real quickly, can you talk? A lot of people ask me this: are the legs good to eat? And
Absolutely.
they have a lot of tendons and stuff. But yes, and
Yeah,
break down that bird.
so that's the most difficult for people is those tendons. And again, the leg it's used a lot. Obviously, turkeys scratch a lot, so it's a very muscular piece
Mhm.
of meat. And it gets thrown out. I really get upset when I see people just brush the bird out and throw the rest of it away. Is if you've ever eaten smoked turkey legs, oh, that's the way to go. And if you're one of those guys that's lucky enough to shoot, 3 or 4 turkeys in different states in a year, where you can get maybe 8 legs and smoke all those together, you can have a great Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
What I like to do with my turkey legs, honestly, is I throw them in a crock pot and cook them down, and then all the tendons just fall out. You pull the bones out, all the tendons out, you're left with some nice leg meat, and then you make your turkey noodle soup or turkeys and noodles, anything like that with just that leg meat is excellent.
Turkey enchiladas, they're good.
Yes,
Yeah.
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 So the tendons are the part that slow people down. You just got to know how to cook them and discard those tendons. And I said smoked turkey. As much as people like to smoke things, man, don't give up on smoked turkey legs.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever asked you this. Does the DNR have have a clip on the website to show you how to break a turkey down if you haven't been hunting before?
No, we don't, and that's a question that I get quite a bit. And there's several other videos out there, so we've never reproduced one because there's lots of videos that show it. But what I always talk to people about really is you have to know how you're going to prepare that turkey. And I'm a traditionalist; I like to cook a whole bird.
Hmm.
So I talk to people about wet plucking and dry plucking, the two different methods of plucking the feathers off, because I want to leave the skin on the bird to help keep the moisture in.
Yeah.
Wild turkeys are dry by nature, and you can overcook them and make them very dry. So you got to be really cautious with that. But as I get older and my kids have left, so a whole turkey's a little bit too much for me, then I will skin it and pull the feathers and the skin off. And then I'll start to break it down into the breast meat, the legs, the thighs, like you would a normal turkey if you went to any butcher shop or any chicken that you went to a butcher shop. And then you just have to look how you're going to prepare it. You take a thigh and you split the bone out, you pound it out, make your tenderloin, cook the legs like we were talking about. Breast meat, obviously, you can cut into chunks and wrap it in bacon, or even just cook it in the oven and bake it like a small turkey breast or chicken breast. So you just have to know how you want to prepare it. A lot of people love to make Chinese with it too.
Yeah.
Cut that breast meat up and then stir fry it with fresh vegetables is great.
Yeah.
So lots of ways.
Well,
My standard response, Dan, to people is it doesn't matter how you clean a turkey, as long as you end up with a pile of stuff you would eat and a pile of stuff you wouldn't eat.
yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
how you get there is up to you.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That's good eating. And I love turkey breast stripped out and fried, and
Yeah.
cookies barbecue sauce with a little natural honey in there for a dipping sauce. Oh, that's a fine meal.
And
Hey,
the fun
and
part is when a guy really figures out that there's two sets of breast meat. There's those inside tenderloins and the outside breast, and those inside tenderloins are really good.
yeah, they are. All right, Jim, I appreciate it, buddy. Well, I'll check in with you. When are you going to start getting some preliminary data before third or fourth season?
Well, it's when people start reporting. So first season, first day, I'm sure there'll be people reporting turkeys, but we really won't look at the turkey data until the end of each season to
Okay.
see how it was going.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll get a hold of you before turkey season's over and just kind of check in.
absolutely.
Okay. All right.
That
Hey,
time of year.
and morels are starting to pop.
I haven't heard that, but we need some moisture.
Yeah. Well, here they're finding them in northern Missouri. I had a buddy of mine found a bunch of them the other day. So
There are a couple websites that's kind of fun to track, and you can see them coming up out of Missouri and hit the lower tiers of Iowa and kind of gauge. And as soon as that soil temperature hits, I think it's about 58, 59, they really start to go.
yeah,
So, a
yeah,
little moisture, a little warm, so that really helps.
yeah. I think we got some.
Crappies will be biting soon too.
No, I think the crappies in Missouri are already biting. I'm telling you. I've been hearing a whole bunch of stories. So that's good. Jim, thank you, buddy. If people want more information about Iowa's turkeys, what's the best resource for them?
IowaDNR.gov is the best place to go, or they can always give me a phone call at my office number, 641-774-2958. Always love to talk turkeys.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. You be safe out there.
You bet. Take care, Dan.
Thank you. There he goes, Mr. Jim Coffey, everybody. Iowa Department of Natural Resources. Fine fella right there. Rupert is on me like Andy seasonings on a crappie fillet. I'm telling you. Murph, thank you, buddy. Yeah, I got a great taxidermist. So Dave Jones, and now I got Jeremy Lee at Racks and Tracks. So look at all them beautiful mounts back there. Wait till you guys see the Barry's working on. Yeah, hey Steven, I got a big standing bear, and I've got about I don't know. I don't want to tell you a pound. He's well over. He's probably 350 to 400. They're gonna do a full body bear mount for me. So I don't know where we're gonna put that. I'll put that in Rupert's corner. I think that's what we'll do. I'm not gonna do a commercial break today. I was going to, but we're gonna. I got a lot to tell you about. So we got some shows coming up. I had some questions about Todd's calls. He did come out with a new Rupert glass call this year. It's a Rupert's Roost and Peace Reaper glass call. He still has some of those. If you want to go on Rupert's Roost and Peace Turkey Facebook page, you can order some stuff there from Todd. And he still does have, I believe, some of these custom designed 3D boxes that I've got right here. These things were the hit of the Iowa Deer Classic. People freaked out. I just love them. And when he first showed me that, I was very, very impressed. This is one of my favorites. Todd gave me that. I didn't steal it or pilfer, as he likes to say. We got the the Chico Outdoor Show coming up. That is going to be April 11th and 12th at the Westmoreland Fairgrounds. I'll be out there. They're going to have the big 3D shoot. I'll be hanging out in the 3D shoot building. We're also going to have our buddy Todd from Compass Carts, and he's going to come out there. We've got a lot of stuff to give away. There's going to be a special raffle. I'm donating my DSD bedded doe decoy. That's like a $600 deer decoy. You can get a hold of Matt Kreis, and he will tell you how you can get tickets for that. I used it on Backwoods Bowstring Adventures last season. I used it on 2 hunts, and it's still in premier shape. And you can say, hey, that's my decoy on TV right there. So there you go. Stole it. You watched you. Hey, Susker, what's going on? Loverdowski, how you doing, Sonny? Good to see you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. So get a hold of Matt, and I think tickets are, if I remember what Todd told me, I think they'll probably be about $5. So you can get on some good stuff. I've got a whole bunch of other stuff to give away. Weeby knives and work sharp sharpeners. I've got some Arctic ice blocks. I've got I think a dozen $100 Onyx Hunt Elite membership to give away, and I've got some koozies. I've got Kool-Aid, 2 dozen Kool-Aid Archery hunting shafts to give away, thanks to Bo and everybody down at Kool-Aid Archery. So we'll be doing all that. I said see. It said see. Well, no, I'm not going to say Sesker because Rupert's watching, and he yelled at me for calling you Seeker the last time. So see, he's doing it right there. I heard about that, Rick, so I'm calling you Sesker from now on. I called you Seeker for 3 years. It's the wrong name, but I mean, it's all right. You know I love you. Seeker is gone now. See how he is. We got anyway. That's going to be out there 11th to 12th. Todd's going to be out there with me down at the shoot along with Creek Archery. And it's going to be just a lot of fun. Come out. I'll have my Gearhead Carbon Pivot 24. I'll probably even shoot in the thing if I get a chance. So we'll have some fun with that. After that, May 8th, we got the big outdoor day with the Iowa Cubs. Looking forward to that. Andrew and I will be out there. We're going to give away a couple DSD turkey decoys. Minerva Creek is donating a Minerva Creek game hoisting system. That's like $1,400. You got a chance to win that, plus a Troika walleye rod. That's 3 great prizes right there. And then we got the Delta Waterfowl Convention, July 24th and through the 26th. We'll be doing a show live there on the 25th. And then we got other shows. The Iowa Jeep Show is going to be in September, September 11th through the 13th on a Garwin. So we got a lot of stuff to do in between hunting seasons and fishing this year, that's for sure. Speaking of shows, I talked to Dieter at Face Off e-bikes today in Wisconsin, and I'm hoping I'm going to have my Face Off bike here pretty quick. But Todd and Dieter will be at the Wisconsin Dells this weekend for the big show out there. So go check out those Compass carts and those wonderful face-off e-bikes. Those things will get you through anything and everything without giving you any problems. If you're going to get an e-bike, go look at Face-Off before you do anything else. All right, I can't wait, man. I've a couple weeks. I'll be in Pennsylvania with the Roop and the Murph and CJ the DJ and everybody. It's going to be a lot of fun. Loverdowski will be out there. The Perna, everybody, AJ and his dad, Pilfer, me and the senior Pilfer will be out there. I can't wait to pilfer from Todd's booth, man. It's going to be awesome. I ordered an extra bag to pilfer when I go out there. I can't wait. This Saturday we're going to be on 106.3 KXNO. Going to be giving away the last DSD Ugly Turkey Decoy Contest winner, and that's going to be for my 3/4 strutting Jake. So if you tune in on Saturday, you'll get a chance. Hi, Jeff. Good to see you up there in New York. Get a chance to check that out, and we'll do that. We'll draw the winner. We'll probably do one more qualifier, and then Andrew's got everybody's that has not won a decoy. You're still in the running, everybody. And we'll tell you more about that. So I think that's it. I'm going to try to make PA. Well, there you go, Jeff. It'd be good to see you. That'd be good. Chico Outdoor Show at Westmoreland Fairgrounds out there by Greensburg, Jeff. That'd be a lot of fun to see you. And hey, Mountain Man from the Keystone Experience is going to be there. You will pilfer for the last time. Yeah. Don't say that to me, Todd. Don't say that. You know you love me pilfering. I think I got everything in. The turkey dates, Spring Utes is going to be 10th through the 12th. First season is going to be April 13th through the 16th. Second season is going to be April 17th through the 21st of April. Third season is April 22nd through the 28th. And fourth season will be April 29th through May 17th. So there you go. All right, I am right on time. We're going to have Unknown Files on at 7 o'clock tonight. And then we're going to have Damn Good Friends, the Keystone Experience, and our wonderful friends at Warden's Watch carrying you home until tomorrow's programming, which will be really good. So make sure you send me those screenshots. Get on the app, take a picture of a show that's playing, and email that to me, and you're in the drawing for the secret listener contest. And hey, Hank, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. Tell everybody down in Revelton hi for me. I got to get down there and see Hank. I'm all out of everything. It's sad. It really is. But anyway, I am going to get out of here. You guys have a great night. Let me goodbye. And if you need anything, just go to the outdoorcallradio.com website, or you can message me off the app, and I'll get back with you. I promise. I'll see you on Saturday, 8 to 10 on 106.3 KXNO. Night, everybody. Have a great night. See you, everybody.